Welcome to the channel. We're playing 20 questions with.
Shannon from Couture Pens.
All right, let's get into the questions. When I say fountain pen, what pen do you think of?
The first one that really drew me into this community, which was the Sailor Pro Gear, the Hachimanjia collab, the Kobo Sakura. It's the pink with like rose gold.
Okay, how did you get into pens?
Well, that's kind of a long story, I think. Honestly, I've loved stationery since I was a little girl, like obsessed with it since I was a little girl. Um, and I've been in the planner community for years, probably since like 2014, 2015. So fountain pens was always kind of there. And I think for me, it was one of those things that I didn't go down the rabbit hole because I was, for some reason in my head, you needed to have like beautiful handwriting, and I do not. But then I kind of got over that part. And then the other part that held me back a little bit was that for a long time they were very masculine, I felt like, and I'm very girly and I like the girly things. But then all of a sudden, so like the stationery part in pens was just kind of natural. And then when I started to notice all of a sudden that there was all these pretty inks and there's pretty pens that were coming, I was like, uh-oh. And then I bought my first one and I was hooked.
All right, what was your first pen?
So my first fountain pen, if I'm being completely honest, I have no clue. Because I know I had some before that I think I had got in like subscription boxes and stuff like that. But the first one, if you were talking about like when I really started my fountain pen journey, I kind of went all in and I bought that Sailor Kogo Sakura from Hachimanjia collab. So yeah.
Well, seeing as I think it's Kari whose first pen was a Visconti.
Oh,
You could do worse. That's
yeah, right.
jumping off the cliff into fountain.
Yeah, I was just like, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go for it.
What's your current daily driver?
That kind of changes up, but I just got this one recently, which is the SD, the golden, the golden one, and I am so obsessed with it. So it's been the one I've been writing with.
What's your favorite ink?
Uh-oh. I like so many, like color wise or just like brand wise or specific ink.
Specific ink. What ink do you find yourself reaching for the most?
Probably I really like Waringall's 12th Night from, I think, is that the one from that's an Atlas
Yeah,
exclusive?
exclusive.
Yeah, that one. That
It's
one I love.
every time I go to Atlas, I go, I need to buy it. And every time I leave Atlas, I go, I didn't buy it.
Oh no. No, you need to get that one. It's pink and pretty and sparkly and it's beautiful.
What is your favorite brand of either pens or ink?
Hmm. This is like picking favorite children now. Okay, I have two. Esterbrook and Sailor are my favorite pens, hands down. You can easily tell when you look at my collection. Like I said, I've started this about 7 minutes ago, 7 months ago. And you can clearly tell. So it's Sailor and Esterbrook for sure. And then ink is probably Sailor and actually Pilot. Is it
Okay.
Pilot that you're how do I say that? Thank you.
Yeah.
That one.
Vintage or modern?
Oh, modern. Vintage is, I mean, again, it's kind of the more masculine thing, and I think I'm too afraid to even like break those, but vintage or modern for sure for me.
When you're in the city for Scriptus, I'll have to bring some vintage from my
Oh,
collection.
I love the idea of them, and some of them are just absolutely stunning and stuff. But I like that scares me that I'm going to break something. But
Yeah,
yes, I would love to see them because I
breaks.
want to see like the old flex ones. Like those are apparently just phenomenal to write with, and I do want to try that. I would have to find like the perfect one for me. I think, which could take a while, but we'll definitely try.
Scriptus is the place to look for that. Like
Oh
there's
yeah.
so much vintage at Scriptus, or there was last year. Like I would say more of Scriptus is vintage than new.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well,
Vin
that's good then. And then if I like somebody like if I'm walking around with you or something like that and that you know, then we can definitely absolutely we'll take a look at them.
Do you swatch all your inks?
Yes, I'm behind, but yes. And I am coming up with like so I have a binder system that I use with the wearing goal cards that I want to have, but then I have this other idea that I might do videos on too that I want to make like a whole binder and kind of put these ideas out for everybody to like almost track their pen collections and their inks and stuff like that, because we all love that kind of stuff, I think, or a lot of us do. So I really want to do that as well on top of my normal ink swatches.
Do you have any pens that get the same ink always, or do you always switch it up?
For the most part, I think I switch it up. Like there's going to be a couple I think that stay with certain inks, but no, I'll switch it up as long as but they have to be matchy. I'm a matchy person. Or there could be a complete contrast. Like I think I've done like just if I wanted like a black ink, it could go in my winter white SD. That's fine because that's a white pen. So that's okay. But like if it's a pink pen, it's more than likely going to have a pink or maybe like a gray ink. That's not really matchy, but in my head it works.
I'm the same. It's like it's either got to match or like I've got my black waterproof ink and a rainbow pen.
Yeah, see, like that's fine. Like to me, black ink can go in any pen, though. I think that's or gray, and I think that's kind of like gray is almost my another like neutral for me. I love gray inks. Like I could buy 25 different gray inks. I don't know what it is, but I love them. See, it's the same with the pink. The pink and gray is my favorite color combination too. So that together is just perfect. But so yeah, pink and gray inks, and that's why I think like I said, I'm a little behind on my swatches, and I need to get caught up because I'm gonna have so many inks that are so similar because I just like, oh, I need this one, oh, I need this one, and then yeah. But
You gotta get that done in the next like 20 days.
oh, why is that?
Because everyone has inks for sale at Scriptus. So you
Oh, I thought you meant because you needed to see it. Like I needed to bring my whole binder with me or something.
would I want to see your whole binder? Yes. But like also everyone has inks for sale at Scriptus.
Oh, I know. And that's where like I need to make a kind of a list too, like almost like a running list I can take with me. That's why I'm debating like a little book, but yeah, I don't know. It apparently has gone out of hand very quickly.
That happens.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it.
This took 18 months.
Are you a washi girl?
I want to be.
Okay, so that's another one of those things I'll have to show you one day, but like my washi is another one that's out of control.
I just like do I love when friends give me really pretty washi rolls? Yes. Do I ever buy myself the pretty washi tape? No.
Oh, one day you'll have to come down here and visit and I'll just let you loose on the washi drawers and like you can just make samples. Like I have sample cards and you can just have at it.
Do you keep your nib writing samples in a way you can flip through them and know how every pen writes, or do you just know the nib in every pen?
So it's again, it's kind of yes and no. So no, I don't have something official just now, but again, this like idea that I have, I want to. So it's something that I want to have each one because like for the most part right now, I don't have any real custom grinds or anything like that as of yet. Like the next couple of weeks I'm hoping to, but so most of them and I tend to buy like a medium. I have a few like in my Esterbrook ones, I tend to buy like I get when I get them, I will get a different one each time because they're interchangeable and I love that. So then I have a variety to kind of try and use. But if it's going to be like specifically for certain brands or something like that, I haven't. But I'm like it will definitely happen, and especially when the new grind or when I get the custom grinds done, I'm so excited to have a few of those.
What's a pen you wish you'd see in person?
That's okay. So there's actually one that I wanted to, and I saw it at the Orlando Pen Show. So there's actually a few. Okay, so there are. I just recently saw them, and I don't know the name, but it's these beautiful pelican ones that have almost like a metal on them that's all engraved.
Yeah.
And oh, they're
Uh,
stunning. I haven't seen those in
oh,
person.
start with a T. I just linked them for a video. I'll leave
Yeah,
the
I'm terrible with names. I'm probably the worst for names in general, but those are stunning, stunning. Like they just look so pretty and the intricacies in them, and I love that kind of thing. And then there's some that have been, I think they're the maki ones with like the sakura flowers on them, and they're platinum, I believe. Those I'd like to see in person too, but I'd also kind of maybe not want to see them in person because I'm not sure that I wouldn't. It would be a situation not bringing it home.
Mm. That's fair. What's your current Grail?
So it's the one I actually saw in Orlando, and it's a Grail because like a Grail to me is one that I probably will never get. Not necessarily because I mean, it's available out there, but it's too much, and I'm not sure that I could take that leap. Is actually the Mont Blanc Agatha Christie, and it's because I love murder mystery stuff. Like I always have since I was a kid. Like I think I watched Unsolved Mysteries at an age you probably shouldn't have, but I did. And then also for the Taylor Swift fans, Reputation is the snake. And I love that. And the ruby eyes, like it's funny because I'm such a pink girl, but then I also love like dark reds and rubies and that kind of thing. So that pen just really, I just think it's stunning. So that would be my Grail.
What's a pen you'd recommend to a beginner?
Oh goodness. I think for see, because I had such a different kind of start with it, I think it depends on where you are. Um, I would probably set a budget, is what I think that I would do. It's one of those things that if you like, for me, I knew I was going to love fountain pens. That wasn't the question for me. It was just wanting to find pretty ones that I knew I would love. So, but if it comes down to like just one where it's really like doesn't even know if they'll like it, that kind of thing, I would probably go with like Kaveco Sport or something like that. Even the Kakuno, just something real simple, just to see that if you like it or not at all, and then kind of go with what you love. That's kind of where I went with it. Like I have a couple of the Kaveco Sports that are because they're adorable. Like who doesn't want those? They're so cute, and they're such a great pen to start with. Hmm?
Think I've got eight.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're so cute. Like I have they have a pink one, and then I have like this opal-ish one, the iridescent one. Yeah, it's so like they're so cute. And how much are they? Like $30 maybe?
That's
Yeah. So I mean, if it's a pen to just that you want to know if you're even gonna like the hobby, then I would go for something like that. If you know you're gonna love the hobby and you've tried a couple of pens before, I seriously like I have that soft spot for Esterbrook because I just because I've worked with them now a little bit too, but it's and that's definitely a more expensive one. But for me, before I talk to anybody there or anything like that, for me, what I love the look, of course, because they are beautiful, but it was the nib, like the fact that you could change the nibs was such a draw for me because it was something that I was like, I wasn't 100% sure what size nib I would love. And for me, I was like, okay, I know I love this pen. So if I get this and I absolutely don't like the way this writes for some reason in that size, I knew I could switch it and it wouldn't phase me. So
yeah.
that's something too that I looked at when I first started and was first buying like the more expensive type pens. That was something that really drew me in. And
That
now
that's something I definitely consider more now. Like Navilar lets you switch nibs, Kaweco lets you switch nibs,
yeah, yeah.
lets you swap nibs. Like the pens I'm adding
I
these
didn't know that at first.
brands.
Nobody really says that. But I think I had seen something where they advertised that, and I was like, that is so smart. And because I think my journey with fountain pens is a little different because it wasn't a question. I knew that I would love it. That wasn't the case. So I wasn't as worried about putting the money into a beautiful pen that I knew that I would love. It was the nib sizes for me, which was where I was nervous because I've always been like, if it's a tactile thing. Like if I didn't like the feel of it, I knew I wouldn't use it. And I was terrified, even getting that first sailor, that I wasn't going to love it because of the feel of it, even though that was a very expensive pen. And then, but I also at that point didn't know about nib grinds. I didn't know about the tuning and all of that. So I just, like I said, I just went for it. It worked out for me, which thank goodness. Um, but the fact that when I first found them, that was what I was like, okay, and got that first one, and then I was hooked from there. But I love the fact that, like you're saying, there's more of them that you can just change out the nibs, and or if you decide like later on down the road that you've had this pen, but you're like, it could be a little bit better, And then you could go get these nib grinds. Again, didn't know that at first, but now that I do, that's another rabbit hole, I think.
Stem grinds is definitely a rabbit hole that can become very dangerous very fast.
Oh no. I'm nervous. What was your first one?
We can talk about, we've
Oh,
still to go.
I'm like, I get sidetracked real easy.
Squirrel.
Yeah, 100% me every single time.
What ink would you recommend to a beginner?
Probably the Pilot Iraju or Iraju. I can't say that word. Irajuko.
Erosion.
Iraju? No, I got nothing. Pilot.
Okay. What advice would you have for somebody wanting to try out a fountain pen who might be a bit intimidated by it?
Honestly, it's one of those things like I know that probably everybody like just do it, like that idea. But I think if you're not sure how to go about it, don't want to purchase one just yet or anything like that, find someone who has one, find an event. The events make such a difference and you can try them. Even Orlando, the first event that I like really went to that was a pen event, like specifically pen event. Everybody had all their pens on the table and they're like, try this one, try that one, do that. Like they were so kind and so nice. And I think, and I tried different grinds. I tried different brands that I hadn't tried. Getting to hold them in your hand is a big thing. And I think that that might really make a difference in your journey altogether if you just get to try them first. Go to a store that's around you if you have one and try them. Like I think that would be my biggest piece of advice is just get out there and try a few and or get to a place that you think that you could try a few if possible, of course. And I think that will make all the difference.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's fun. The inks are just, all the different inks are just so fun. I love it.
What filling mechanism do you think is most interesting, regardless of if you like to use it or not?
Probably the vac, like the little, that's the push downy one, right? Yeah, that one.
What do you prefer to write with?
Pardon?
Nib size do you prefer to write with?
Oh, medium is my go-to. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to put a compilation together of everyone's different vac noises and demos of their vac filler.
Yeah, absolutely.
So often, and everyone does a little demo and a noise, and it's at this point, it's
You can have like just a reel of us all like, what is happening here?
is there stuff nib you love or find interesting but would never use?
Um, I've seen those ones that are like the stack nibs, and I'm like, I'm not sure that that's necessary for me. Or what's the one with the two? Is that the music one?
Yeah.
Like it has two slits, the music one. I'd be curious to try it, but I don't know that it would be like an everyday type. But I don't think there's one that I would say never to because I've learned better to not never say never.
Do you always use the same paper? If so, what paper? If not, what papers you prefer?
Um, for the most part, I use the Tomoe River paper because I have about 1 million notebooks with that in it. But I'd like to try a few other ones. But the other thing, there's one that I really want to try, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. But I know it's like discontinued or something. So I don't, and I've heard good things about it. But if it's discontinued and I try it and I love it, then I'll be real sad.
Oh,
But
is that the air light paper? I forget.
yes, that's it. Cosmo Air Light. I was like, I know it starts with a C, but I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I couldn't get the first word. I got the last one.
Yes, and then yeah, and then I got it. And we're good. We got there. But
I
yeah, I tend to use the Tomoe River paper because it's very readily available. It works well. I mean, for the most part, there's not too many issues. So
Right.
yeah.
Last question. What is your least favorite ink or ink color family?
Yellow or orange, yellow, orange. Not necessarily that it's bad. It's just not my favorite. That's all. I have to pick one. That would be it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing 20 questions.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. And I probably talked a lot, but I had fun.
Glad. And you and I are going to go and hang out
Absolutely.
on stream because
Yeah,
we have other things to discuss and it should
absolutely.
So